Good evening. How are you? Welcome to the first episode installment chat of MixtKid's Club, where us mixed kids, me, Ian Riddick, get to have a conversation about being biracial, about growing up and coming from different backgrounds and not necessarily having the belonging to one group or another group, but fitting in all different types of groups and playing in all the different areas. I figured it was about time that we had our own conversation about it. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. I'm interested in having this chat today. I have a very awesome human being that's going to be joining me in this chat, so I'm pumped about that. But it really is just to start a dialogue, just to have a conversation. And for those that want to kick it with us, I'm pumped about that you're here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce our first guest, right? The first person to come in and join this chat. Now, this human being hails from Buffalo, New York, born in Children's Hospital. He is a graduate of the Ohio State University. He is on Tidal. He is on Spotify. He is on iTunes. He is a lyricist extraordinaire and a poet. He is your Vegas hookup, ladies and gentlemen. He is also my little brother. So what I want to do one time is I want you to give it up for Michael Riddick. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Michael Riddick.
What's cracking?
That's right. Andre Michael Riddick in the building. Andre Michael Riddick in the building. Let's go, folks. Let's go.
716, what up?
There it is. So, yeah, I mean, we're always representing the 716. So I don't know if y'all know this, but that hoodie right there represents the Little Loop football team that we both played for when we were kids. Super dope. Well represented, sir. Well represented. Now, why don't you go ahead and let the people who don't know
All right.
who you are. Who you are.
My name is Andre
Talk to the people,
Michael
man. Talk to the
Riddick.
people.
716, Buffalo, New York, West Seneca, New York. Like he said, graduate of the Ohio State University, rapper, Dre's Connect, many different things, And most importantly, a mixed kid.
I mean, he's a mixed kid. That's what he is. That's who he is. That's what we do here. Our family happened to make, our mom and our dad happened to make two really good ones, if I do say so myself. So, essentially what I wanted to talk about in this whole spiel, in this whole getup was growing up, and I'll speak on my behalf because obviously we grew up in the same community, in the same family, in the same house, but I can't speak on your experience from your perspective. I can only speak on my experience from my perspective. So, growing up, always being the black friend to the white kids, and then not quite being black enough for the black kids. You're not really black, though. Now, for those that don't know, again, father is African American, mother is English, German, American. So it's not necessarily unusual. It's very common, but this process through the 80s and 90s was not hard, but different. Very interesting. I remember, and we were talking about this earlier. There was a scenario when I was probably 6 or 7 years old, right? So at the time, that makes you about 3 or 4 years old, and we're at the park. And I couldn't even tell you what park this was, irrelevant. So we're at the park, and the lady comes up to mom being Caucasian, and starts the conversation with, "Hi, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm really curious. How did you do it?" And my mom was like, "How did I do what?" And she was like, "Well, my sister has been trying to adopt black children for a very long time, and I know, what process did you go through to adopt these boys?" Now, for anyone that knows our mom,
Hot.
mom don't play. right? Mom, so dare you speak to me like that? And she was, it's just because you have, mind you, obviously you see that we ain't got no hair now. We had big, dark, curly hair, and, we looked like we looked, and my green-eyed, light brown hair, Caucasian mom looked like she looked, and they were like this. Where'd you get those children from? So, it really is it really, it's just different, right? It's just different growing up because, like I said, you always have the people talking about some, yeah, but you're not really black though. Like, I mean, you're like kind of black. Like,
Kind of like 50%.
what do you're like blackish. And yeah, and well, and that's another thing. I saw that you had posted, ironically today, the
Right.
black cross out white cross out human T-shirt.
Fair enough.
Now, love that T-shirt, hate that T-shirt. And the reason I feel that way is I appreciate the non-descriptor that it's trying to accomplish. I'm a human being. But I don't agree with the fact that you're not crossing
So,
out the white and crossing out the black because you're both. You're not saying I'm not this and
so
not
you
that. You're
want a
saying
math?
I am this and I am that. And
I
and
said you
that
want a
was
math
that was
equation
something
on
that,
there. Black plus white
what's
equals.
that?
I'm down for it. Yeah, no, all the way,
I mean,
all the way.
and that's what it is though. And that's really what it is though. Because when people ask me, so like what are you?
Yeah.
I'm both. So like are you more white or more, no. Right down the middle. I am all of the above. I have all of this and I have all of that, and that's who I am. Um, but again, I want to get back to what it is that what I'm trying to accomplish here, and what I would like to accomplish with you being the first person to jump on here with the chat. Obviously, I had to have little brother on here. Um, I wanted to get things from your perspective because we grew up in the same house, we grew up in the same community,
Right.
but your perspective wasn't my perspective. And as much as it is only a 3-year difference between us, there's still things that happened
Right.
in that time, in those 3 years, that life changed. Things happened, rules were made, people's mindsets changed a bit. So what were some of the things growing up that you remember or dealt with,
Well,
or that had a
young,
lasting
like
impression
as
on
children,
you?
it really didn't hit me ever because I mean, I feel like mom did such a great job, and just overall the environment that we grew up in, with the yard being 50-50 for what it is. It never felt like we were outside of the norm. So it was more as certain things started to happen, it was like, y'all are clearly tripping because our entire family is mixed, and my entire black side likes white people, my entire white side likes black people. And it felt like, obviously, the people who as like, it got a little bit, people had and
That still goes, in my opinion.
what's that?
Well, I just said, as far as people, if they had
Oh
a
yeah,
problem with it, then they were the problem. I
yeah,
still feel
absolutely.
that way, but
And
I
as
digress.
the older I've gotten, the more I've come to that point where if we don't agree, that's fine. Like if you're doing something to hurt me, then yeah, I gotta stand up for myself. I gotta do whatever. But if we just disagree, chances are I don't value your opinion enough. So isn't always the right answer. There's certain people who are called to into action, and certain people who, like myself, just don't care. uh, and it's tough because I don't want to not be the change that is needed at times, but at the same time, I don't like to have to do something because somebody else screwed up. So that's a battle in itself.
I feel that. Yeah, I mean, and personality-wise, you've always been a very nonchalant individual. I mean, your demeanor is that. So this isn't necessarily for this
Oh, absolutely.
topic.
Yeah,
That's just who
absolutely.
you are, and that carries over
Yeah.
to this topic.
One of my favorite stories, similar to yours,
Yeah.
was, I don't remember which birthday it was, but we went out to eat. It was me, Mom, Wayne, who's Caucasian as well, and Mark, who's my best friend, who's Caucasian. And my mom went up to the waiter and was like, "I want to do a birthday presentation for my son." Obviously, you know where this story goes. It was amazing. I was old enough to.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think I remember the story now that you've said it,
Yeah,
but I would have
a
never
classic.
remembered that story if
It
you
was
didn't just bring it up right
hilarious,
now.
and I was old enough to laugh about it. So it wasn't a situation where it was like, I was this young, sensitive kid, and my birthday was ruined because my best friend blew out my candles. No, it was a situation where we all looked. He did. No, he did. He did. No,
First off,
it was a correction.
why did he
Come on.
blow out the
You know,
candle?
Mark holds it down.
I was gonna say,
No, you know.
I was like, he really went with it though. He was like, yeah, no, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. So wait, so this had to have been.
I want to say it
I
was my
I was probably
junior
at
or
Pitt at this
senior
point
year in
then.
high school. I want to say junior. Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah,
I'm
it was
absolutely gonna
great,
tell people that
and
story. That's
even
great. I
mom
love that
actually
story.
handled it. To my knowledge, mom handled it more calmly than typical. I mean, you know how it goes, but it was hilarious. And we and we looked at the situation, and it was like,
Yeah. She don't
you
play.
can't
She
blame
don't
that
play.
guy. You can't. Like, it was assumptive. Yeah, I mean, but
Look,
really,
if he didn't know he had a
if you,
50-50 shot, it made sense.
yeah, I mean, I'll take that. But
Although you look
I
like
mean,
mom. You
you
look
walk
like
up to
mom.
this table, and
You
it's
look
a
like
white
mom.
husband, white wife, and a white kid. You're going for that kid. I'm the friend.
Hold on.
I mean,
Was
I
this
only
during
had
your
braids for
cornrow
all of
phase too?
3 days
Were you in
before
the
they,
braids? Did you have the cornrows?
faded out.
I mean, I'm just saying,
No,
had you had the
I think
braids
they
at the
went for
time,
it.
I think it would have been a telltale sign that maybe you weren't the one.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I think both times that I had cornrows were in the winter because I think they were both during basketball season, intentionally.
So what now?
Connection right now.
Regular basis.
Yes, the entire thing. I'm back right now, but
Oh, did you miss all that? I mean, we're here though, so it's okay because this is what happens when you go live.
what up? What
So,
up?
real quick, shout out to Harrison. I see you. You on here? What up, though? Um, what I was saying though is now, having gone through certain instances and circumstances as a kid, now that you all growed up in your industry of hospitality specifically, dealing with all the people that come through Las Vegas, dealing with all of the ethnicities and cultures and whatnot, how does this dictate how you deal with people? Has it changed your views? Have you not changed per se, but give me how it's affected you and how you kind of use this information and these experiences to speak and deal with people now?
Well, I think a lot of that kind of stemmed from the. Um, I was thrown into a spot where we had 60,000 people, and specifically in the dorm that I was in my freshman year, you had literally any type of person you could ever think of. Like, if you wanted a one-legged midget, it was in that dorm. Like it was there was a lot of diversity in that school and in that dorm specifically. So there's a lot of, that's why I always tell people, like, I was raised in Buffalo, New York. I grew up in Ohio, like, because that's where I was on my own. And I mean, obviously, from your freshman year, like that first time out of the house, you're like, this is all me. I don't know what to say. Like, I really have to make all day. It's like I really
Hail the pit one time. Hail the pit one time.
And I came across so many different people that were, some helpful, some hurtful. And you just go with it though. But like, you realize how many people from how many different places can shape who you are and where you go in life. And fortunately, that was just a situation that worked out for me. And I haven't taken any steps back since. So it's like now in Vegas, going through another very diverse situation, it's nothing to me. I mean, obviously, Vegas, the more hip hop music becomes a thing or becomes the thing, Vegas is more open to the black culture. But obviously, we know the no work boots. Come on, son. Just say what you really want to say.
No Tims. No Tims is what they mean to say.
Yeah, like there's, my approach to it is always just be fair. The same way I don't judge you based on your ethnicity. I don't, judge you based on your gender, your job title, any of that. Like, I'm going to go with, what I see, and I'm going to react to whatever type of person you are. And even then I'm going to water it down, because at that point I'm at work, and I represent something bigger than just myself. So I'm not doing anything to screw up that brand any more than I would want to screw up my last name. So, one of the greatest all time,
which I'm gonna go ahead and argue is more important
than the
brand.
We agree. Okay. We agree. All right. Yeah, but I mean, it's just one of those things where that's why as the summer hit after the George Floyd situation, we'll call it, so we don't offend anybody. There was a lot of there's a big call for people to speak up and speak out, and it took me a while to even do so at all. Like, unless you were a really close friend, because I don't want you listening to the first sentence that I say and then responding. Like, hear me out. If you're going to actually get my opinion, listen to what I'm saying and why I'm saying it. But at the same time, I'm not the problem. I'm a fair person. I'm an equal person. So my daily approach to racism, or avoiding it or combating it, is the same. Where it's just, I'm fair. I'm going to treat you as a human being. We're going to, until things go, a different direction, that's just where we're going to be at. So there have been plenty of ups and downs in that. I don't know if I jumped the gun on that topic.
Well, now because I don't want to necessarily. No, it's fine, because topics go where topics go, and that's how discussions are played out. But not to jump directly into racism, but that's what's going to happen when you talk about ethnicities, cultures, races, obviously, right? So now, have you ever had to? How do I even put this? When people have conversations and they look at, this person is being no, this person's being race sensitive. This person's being race sensitive, or this person. So when someone says, I'm offended by this, and you look at it, do you look at it through human eyes best you can? Do you look at it through the experiences you've had on the white side of the family? Do you look at it on the experiences you've had on the black side of the family to try and maybe gauge better of, like, I grew up around this group of people. This group of people feels this way, or I grew up around that group of people. That group of people feels that way. How do you come together? Like, yo, let's be honest. When was it H&M talking about the coolest monkey in the jungle? Yo, that was stupid. That was stupid. Now, not completely disagree with what they did. It was totally ridiculous. There was needed to be someone in there that would be like this, oh my God, we shouldn't post that. But at the same time, how many kids or how many parents call their children monkeys, My Little Monkey? Now, what that means to and white, black, or indifferent, how many parents call their kids My Little Monkey? Now, what that means to me is there wasn't a person of color, specifically a black person in that boardroom to say, look, I know we all call our kids monkeys, but if you say monkey with the black kid as the representation, you're going to get destroyed and it's a horrible idea. Nobody was there for that. Now, in this situation, I feel like I saw both sides of that one coming right away. Now, is it because I'm just a decent human being? Is it because I grew up with white family and black family? I don't know. I'd like to think it's just because I'm not a horrible, ignorant person, but also my experiences made me what I am. I know what people talk about when they say go get a switch from the tree because that was part of my family. I understand the electric slide and I understand Richard Marx. I'm just saying there's certain things I know that Keisha got a big old butt. Oh yeah, because that's one side of the family.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the H&M thing goes,
you know,
like you said, it's one of those things where you can see both sides, and obviously from, you know, you're trying to reach an enormous demographic with that, so you have to be. I mean, it's actually your job to be race sensitive, or anything sensitive to, you know, to limit. Yeah, exactly, and that's
you have to be everything sensitive. You have to know what you're doing. Come on, bro.
That was just poor. I don't even think that was so much hateful. That was just poor. Like somebody was not doing their job. A lot of somebody's.
It was a lack. It was
for sure. Yeah,
it clearly represented a lack of diversity. It clearly represented a lack of diversity.
And
which, given who we are, we always bring diversity. We have no choice but to be diverse because we're diverse.
You know,
we're a package deal.
Scenario, or all right, you know, even if it's my idea, why won't this great idea that I have work? And like, I'm an overthinker. That's what I do. So when I see stuff like that, I'm like, you guys just literally just went with this and was like, oh, that'd be cute. Not going to think about it any further. Like, come on. Nobody, no one spoke up. Not a single person. It's wild, but
it's interesting.
And exactly, that's the beauty of it.
I guess you wouldn't speak up if you didn't notice it, right?
I feel like just in this little bit of time, we've spoken so much about what, you know, potential negative sides of it, but let's talk about the beauty of it for a second, and you know, the fact that we do get to see stuff like that because we were born into it, we were raised by it, and it's because we don't have to. You know, we have the opportunity for all of this exposure, the same way that you're on the other side of the world being exposed to so many things that are not American. You know, you got to treat race the same way you do any other thing. It all comes down to being open-minded in a lot of situations. And you take in the different things about different cultures and different beliefs and traditions and all that. And you have to accept all of them as the beauty that it is. Like, life is easy. Like this whole, you know, be happy and spread love and all that. It's really easy when you're the one in control of it. As soon as you let other people control your emotions and your thoughts and all that, that's when it gets a little tricky. But that's just not something I'm willing to do.
I mean, bruh,
absolutely.
Can we talk stereotypes for a minute? Just because this is always fun. Being, and this is piggybacking off of being exposed to a bunch of different things. Bruh, my immediate thought was all the different kinds of macaroni and cheese. Like, there are people out there that really think the only kind of macaroni and cheese is Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah. And just on the other side, there's people who don't who only feel like baked macaroni and cheese is the only one, and straight from scratch. And I mean, look, that's my That's my preference. But who am I to tell
Bruh,
you how to eat?
look, you, hey, you get the elbow noodles, you get the cheese,
There's like
you do some things. There's layers,
right.
or as Meek Mill would say, there's levels
Um,
to this.
and then also let's
But
not forget.
bruh,
Go ahead.
but yeah, man. I
I
mean,
was
there's
gonna
so
say
many
let's not
when
forget being mixed doesn't
bring it,
mean
bring
half
it.
black, half white. That's what we are. So that's what we're discussing right now. But man,
No,
like, hey, bruh, let's just talk
correct.
about you go on any mixed kid page, mixed girls, mixed man. So you already know where that goes.
Bruh. And 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 the thing is, I started this with you again because I love you and you're my brother and you're the greatest human being on the planet. But also in line with people that I have coming on here that I've been talking to, I have different mixes
Right.
that grew up, fortunately, on different continents. So yes, you and I are black and white Americans. I have several other guys and girls from other places all over that I'm so excited to have these conversations and share these different things. You know, we are incredibly similar, and this is
Right, right.
less contradictory or less compare and contrast and more remember this or remember that. Some of these other conversations I'm going to have are going to be like, wait, you did what? You put your pants on left leg first and right leg second? Holy shit, I
Right,
never
right,
would
right.
have thought of that. Like it's so there's just going to be so many different things. Pretty soon we're going to start arguing about crunchy peanut butter versus creamy peanut
That'll weed
butter
out a lot of
and
friends right there. That'll weed out a
fucking
lot of friends.
creamy peanut butter weirdos.
Yeah.
Look, I'll just so you know, I have a strong stance on the chunky peanut
Yeah.
butter. All you creamy peanut butter
Yeah.
people, no, no, at me or don't at me. I don't even know how that goes. I'm too old for this shit. I'm not sure if you're supposed to at me or not
I
at
like
me.
creamy
Either way,
on like
creamy's weird.
bananas. That's about it. Bananas and celery. Outside of that, if we're doing sandwiches, all right. Hey, you
Hey,
know
hey,
what?
I already said I love you. Don't make me take it back.
You know what that means. um,
Yep. Yep. So, but yeah, man, I think it's I I remember this one time where I didn't fit in, or I remember growing up like this and being so incredibly happy and fortunate that I'm from all these different things because it allowed me to see things from a different view and being, you know, we you know, we have rich white people, we have poor white people. We have rich black people, we have poor black people. My family is has been an awesome,
right.
awesome mini cultural experiment, for lack of a better term, between black and white races, which is such a massive juggernaut in the States that I was able to not pay attention to the things people would say about white people or about black people because I knew better, because I experienced on a daily basis love and humanity and goodness from both sides. And I knew that no, black people, white people aren't just that. People are dickheads when people are dickheads, and people are amazing when they're amazing. And I'm so fortunate to have been part of a family that could show me that from birth, that
Yeah.
I would never, ever, ever, ever give this up in a million years. And that's the ultimate or the gist of what I want to kind of portray and see how other people feel about the situation
Literally.
because we didn't choose this
Not to
mixed
hear
life.
that
This
though.
mixed life chose us.
But yeah, I mean, no, you good.
Bruh, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Go ahead. Bruh, I don't know if mom ever told you about when she told Graham, for those that don't know, obviously our grandmother, who is the sweetest old white lady. She is the old white grandmother that everyone, like, when you think of an old white lady, she's the old white lady. She's this tiny little thing, beautiful woman, love her to pieces. When mom was like, "So, I'm pregnant." Okay, I guess we're gonna have to do this then. Mind
Yeah,
you,
I literally
my
half of that.
grandma couldn't possibly or conceive love us anymore. What part didn't you get?
I
What did you
I know
miss?
the story, so you're
Can
clear
can
now.
you
So
hear me? Am I talking to you? Well, either way. So yes. So she was kind. So yeah. So Graham was just like this. Oh, so you're just gonna have a little black baby, or a little mixed baby, or a little brown baby. I don't even know what the whatever the verbiage was. And mom was like, yeah. Now my grandmother loves us to pieces. She's amazing. She will never ever not love us. She couldn't love us more. And it wasn't as easy for some people to digest that pill when that was the case. My mom is a bit of uh, a rebel in her family, um, but nonetheless, the family structure and the way it just
well,
keeps
I
rolling,
think
and
I think one of
bro,
the big things, and
it's great to.
I don't know if I would necessarily look at it. I kind of look at it as a responsibility. Is you might be that only black person that because again, like we said, to black people we're light skinned, to white people we're black. Yeah,
For sure, at
exactly.
best,
But
we
but
cry
it's
in the rain
it's
and listen to
still
R&B
a
or sing
situation
R&B
where we
songs.
are. I would say, from my experience, I would say that we are more accepted as one of them as from black people, whereas you are a light skinned black person as opposed to a
Yeah.
tan white person. Like no, so so
Oh,
for
for sure,
in
for
situations,
sure.
obviously a lot of people don't know this about us. Growing up in predominantly white school systems and everything, we're talking about we're talking about elementary school, maybe if you're lucky 5 to 10 black people, period. I'm talking I'm talking about the
What?
comings and
When?
goings throughout all 60.
When?
I'm counting us. I, right. I can legit name
Yeah, including
damn
we
near
made up
every
one
black
black
person I
person
ever went to
together.
school with is like that. So in a lot of circumstances, you are, one of the few black people that this person knows or this person has really been exposed to. So it is, to a certain extent,
Hmm.
your responsibility to hold it down. Like you're representing a brand, a big brand, like the same thing. So that's kind of how I approach my influence on anything racial is let me be, the person who makes you now comfortable, because we didn't have to go through that. That was one thing that we didn't have to go through growing up
Hmm.
because we were exposed to both sides. So we didn't have to, like, if
Hmm.
if yeah, and it's sad that that's even the case, but
Look, you don't have to be afraid of
obviously,
me.
you're gonna get, especially now, we live in a time where drama is number one. Like somebody could do the greatest deed of all time right now, and it might get a post. It might. Somebody screws up, it's blasted everywhere. No matter who it is. Yeah, who it is. Like people are excited
People
about
gonna talk
drama
about
and
it
about
for sure.
what I would call fuck shit. Like if you do fuck shit, you're gonna get way more
Hmm.
attention,
Hmm.
and then you can build your name however you want after that, but you're still gonna get that attention. I mean, it's just no way around it. So the good sides of people are not normally exposed. So me being a good person, I feel like it's my job to portray that and to carry that out and, you know, show other people that someone who looks like me also can act like this. And that's just that. Like, and again, like I said, that goes for, you know, for my race, that goes for my college, that goes for the city that I grew up in, my family name, everything. Like, I represent something that is bigger than me at all times. If I go somewhere and someone knows that I work at Dre's, I better not screw that up. Like, I actually had a situation where where Dre's related, I was out at an outing, and somebody was a little too intoxicated and acting aggressively and this, that, and the other. And that person was a Black host at Dre's. And if somebody's explaining that story and doesn't know that person's name, and that's how they describe them, I've built enough of my own brand at Dre's that I might be the first person that pops up in your head. So I don't want to. I was offended by that situation because I was like, I don't want this to come back as, are you talking about Dre? And I mean, that's really what it was.
It was like, this is why we can't have nothing nice scenario.
Like, when I leave the house, I know the different things that I represent. And, you know, a lot of people that know me know my number one rule in life in regards to anybody's relationship with me is don't embarrass me. That's it. I don't care what else you, don't embarrass me. Like,
there it is.
Like if you
I will turn this car around.
Want to use my name as a connection between, you know, our connection makes the connection between you and some stranger, by all means, but you better represent it. Like, if you screw that up on my end, I got nothing for you. And anybody who knows me, anybody could get cut at any time.
Well,
yo,
I mean, you got Missy on here talking about she always embarrasses you. But
my chat's actually not live for what I've been doing my connection. Yeah. So I'm actually going to see if I can do it on.
Oh, okay.
On both. Wow.
Sure wish you'd pay your internet bill.
Yeah, so I got 2 phones now. So what's up? What's up? Well, not 2 phones now. I got 2 phones active right now. So I'm talking to you on this one, and I can read the chat on this one. We're good. Yeah. Whatever.
Oh, okay. You balling.
But yeah, I definitely look at it as, again, like trying to be optimistic. I look at it as more of an opportunity than I do any type of burden. I mean, I love exactly who I am. You can't.
Oh yeah, but burden nothing, baby. I love this. I am so incredibly grateful for the for the chance to be given this life in this body with these parents. All the lessons, all the good, the bad, the ugly, the great, the lovely, the terrible. Give me all of it, because it's nothing but educational and has helped me.
Yeah.
Maybe not initially, but always in the end. Always in the end.
Definitely ups and downs to what's up?
Well, that's what's up, young man.
Oh yeah, you know.
I said that's what's up, man. I appreciate that.
Oh no,
it ain't got to be the end. If we talking. I'm just saying
sure.
that part right there. That was the conclusion to that point.
And I think that goes again. I think a lot of this conversation can be transferred to a lot of different parts of life, where we're not just talking about. I mean, obviously that's the topic we're sticking to, but I mean, you just look at any and everything as, you know, closed door versus open door, and you know, if you want to look at something as a burden, by all means, you're going to. Like, that's you're entitled. You're probably going to go down that road, and hopefully you find happiness somewhere. But I just always, like, even when bad stuff happens, you know, in general, like when the pandemic hit and we got sent home, I went home and it was an evil laugh, but I laughed. And I was like, what is this? Like, because I'm at that point where I'm so at peace with so many things where it's like, this,
Mm.
yeah, I laughed.
I
No,
see where you're
I
going now, because at first I was like this. You laughed at the
what he
pandemic.
was
Go
gonna
on.
do for, like, what it was gonna do to me.
But you
Like,
reeled it in.
really, I literally had everything going so smoothly in such a good spot, and you just, all right, let's see why. Let's see, what opportunities come from this.
Yeah.
Let's see
Yeah.
what growth can come from it, and just ride with it. But I mean, again, that's kind of the point in my life that I'm at right now, where it's just, continue to do what I do and play out however they're going to play out. Yeah, I don't like to express
I can
the
dig that. I can dig that.
the checkpoints, that we're so used to talking about, of you should be doing this at this age, or this at this age, or whatever. Like, obviously we can have that conversation a million times, but I mean, you talked about stereotypes earlier. Like, why do I have to be what you think I'm supposed to be?
Mm.
Like, why is it cool to wear this brand because that's what everyone else is doing? I've never been the popular kid, never wanted to be. Or why is it, like I said, with checkpoints, why should I be married right now? Because I know people who were married at the time that they were supposed to be married, who are single, is just like me. Yeah.
Mm. They got
Right,
divorced
right.
before you hit your checkpoint.
But no, I mean,
That's not
just
even what we
the
talking about. No
stereotypes,
shade.
how you said earlier, to certain people, we're not black enough. All right, cool.
Mm. I don't know what that means. But I listen to hip hop music. Is it because I don't slap bitches and sell drugs and pimp hoes? Do I
Uh,
not talk with enough slang or wear my jeans at a certain level? Is it
and
because I watch
and
Friends? Is
again,
that
like,
what it
that
is?
does take a certain, I don't want to say toll on my music, but it's people will definitely look to hip hop music for some of those references, and you're not going to get them from me. And anybody who knows me as an artist knows I speak a lot about how I'm just talking about my life, and that's why I'll always be able to do it. That's why it will
I
hold
mean,
that
I
same
know
place
that.
for me, for forever, because it's my diary. At the end of the day, like, it's a form of expression and venting in a lot of situations where I didn't sell drugs. I didn't do this, that, and the third that a lot of people that turn into rappers have done. So, but yeah,
Who
like, I
told
mean,
you I was a dope
I don't
rapper?
even like telling people that I'm a rapper. A lot of times, I make music. I'm an artist. I'm anything. Like, I'm a lyricist.
You're a
But
poet.
not only just because I feel like a lot of people say they're rappers and their quality
Mm.
is trash, but on top of that, just the content. I don't want you to say, "Oh, he's a rapper," and like, okay, I don't know this person, but that's one of the first things I know about him. Let me judge them for that, for what I know. Yeah. Um. So
Let's let's put you in a
yeah. No.
box because people feel comfortable in categories. So do you feel like you're more
Okay.
white or more black? Like what box can I put you in? Where do you skew? Which
Just
do
me.
you lean one
Just
direction or the
me.
other? Oh, and real quick, Shahid said, "What's Friends?" Basically, Friends is
Yo, that's
living
very
single
accurate.
for white people. It had some really popular people in it. Because technically, Living Single, I believe, came out before Friends ever did. You might want to fact check me
Yeah,
on
I'm not
that
even
one.
sure.
I'm not sure if that's all the way true, but I think
Great
it
show.
is. Friends just had
Yeah, by
way
far. I mean,
more general popularity than
majority.
Living Single did.
Just simple. So,
So there's that. If Stephen Sinclair Alsop is still on here, I'll ask, when is the Q&A section of this Instagram Live? And Graham fam, let me tell you, if you have questions, jump on in there, and we'll go ahead and make that thing jump if you're ready. So if
yeah,
you
I
got
would say
questions,
you're the
get
moderator
on in
because I'm
there,
not even
friend.
getting
Get
all
on in
this
there.
all the way live. But
True, and as always, because you don't even have to be able to read the chats to
oh
know,
yeah,
Keith is in here because Keith holds it down all the
yeah,
time,
I saw
all the
Keith and Big
time,
J slide
all the
up in
time.
here
Big
real
shout out to
quick. I
Keith
knew that was
Valentine.
gonna happen. Um,
Yep,
Martin
yep.
and Gina, we got Dab in the building. Um, I think that was a good thing
Dab.
too. Like we were able to relate to a lot of TV shows and a lot of movies and just a lot of entertainment overall that made more sense. And
Yeah. It was easily able to relate to so many different things across the board because it made sense because we experienced it.
yep. Um,
Okay. So hold on real quick. Can you see that? Keith just said, "What's the most passive aggressive mixed kid comment you've ever got?" Oh, hold on. And Stefan got one too. So we're jumping in here first. Stefan said, "Going back to the Black Family Reunion, how did you feel when you heard racism coming from your Black family side?" Oh God. Um, well, the thing is, to be all the way fair, the black side of our family, I feel like the rule number one of the black side of the family was you had to have
period.
babies with a white member of society, because we might single-handedly have been trying to create an entire mixed community. So there would be jokes because there's jokes. There's always going to be jokes, but it was never ill-intended or never with malice, because my entire generation of kids, and I can show family pictures. I think all but like 3 of our era are mixed. So there's that. And then Keith, what's the most passive aggressive mixed kid comment you ever got? Um, I can't. It might have been. The thing is, I want to bring up the situation about my mom getting asked where she adopted us, but in all fairness, that wasn't that I don't think that was passive aggressive. Real question. Um, so I don't even think there was malice there. I don't think she was trying to be slick or anything with it. I think it was just a real question. Uh, but I guess in general, growing up, right? Um, you always about Black History Month, because minority. If someone says something or they're looking for validation, they look to the minority because, well, like Ian gets it. So I guess those general statements. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but those general ideas,
Yeah,
because
I
nothing
mean,
really, really
mine
stood
was
out to me
definitely my
in this
high school
moment.
basketball coach asking me if it was, I believe he said African American week or something like that when I got cornrows. Uh, yeah, that was an interesting situation. Definitely would have handled it different. Definitely would have handled it differently now. Half of my
I
life
remember
later,
that.
but um, it was. Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
going to
I
tell
mean, no
anybody
way
where you
around
went
it.
to high
And
school, but your high school was
but
real suspect.
I looked at that
high school.
Again, I looked at that as an opportunity to grow, to I wouldn't be who I am without it. Say that it is a benefit, but I took an even better person. I didn't have to go through that stuff. Who knows? I don't know.
I mean,
but I wouldn't be exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't really know how that's going to play out.
That goes. You got Mrs.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Mrs. Weber's in the building.
Well, look, little brother. Wait, what happened? Oh, what's happening now? What's happening now? It is 2:42 a.m. here in Dubai, UAE. I am going to shut it down for the night. As always, it is a pleasure seeing your smiling face. I love you to bits and pieces. Thank you for jumping on here and having a conversation with me. I appreciate you. And one more time, for those that don't know and those that are watching this, this is my little brother, Andre Riddick, and thank you for jumping on here.
All right, man. Well, yeah, we'll catch up very soon. And I look forward to the rest of the episodes and the rest of the guests. I'm excited. All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We're going to get on this. Speak soon. All right, now. Later.